Technical foul called on the Gonzaga bench.
And Dick Cartmel over at the scores table, and Mark Few wanting to know what he said.
Well, sometimes, you know, officials hear a lot of things coming from the stands and from the bench. So, you know,
Forbes misses the first free throw.
How many technicals Mark has gotten in his?
Not many.
Not many. He usually has a pretty good demeanor and cool about him, that he keeps focused. And I tell you what, his teams have always taken on his demeanor too because of that. But he's a feisty one too. Boy, he'll be the first one in line to back his guys up. You know, you don't
Bolden, Harris, and Goodson back in for GU is Gray, Kong, Gibbs. I guess Kong, Gray, and Olynyk going out. $10:45 to play now, first half.
Well, this is unbelievable. Eastern, I haven't seen this in a long time, running a triangle and two.
And Goodson with the travel. A triangle and two.
Triangle and two. You got Griffin, Dunn, and someone on the baseline or in the block in the paint, and then you got Dean and Forbes chasing Matt Bolden and Grant Gibbs around.
This is Gary Gibson now to Dunn, squaring up on Sacre. Handoff, Dean. Goodson chased him down, and now Forbes. 12 on the shot clock. Dunn has it deflected away. Here's Matt Bolden. Lay-in. And Dean with it right back at the other end for the Eags. Griffin can't finish inside. Here's Gibbs, stripped away by Forbes.
Well, when you run down the middle of the floor, you got to know that there's defense coming from behind you. No one helping Grant Gibbs out. Should have called it out.
And Dunn hits the three from the wing.
Well, he's got that range. We've seen him shoot the ball before. He brought his team back against against Washington State in that game that they had against them.
Bolden, he answers. Top of the key. And it's back to 12. Foul inside. Foul called on Dimitri Goodson. And Bolden with the defense, but really,
Robert Sacre that knocked it away. But yeah, Bolden will be credited for that. And then look at that. He just caught the ball in rhythm from Dimitri. Got a good pass. Now remember who makes the shooter. The passer makes the shooter. So credit that basket not only to Matt Bolden, but to Dimitri Goodson for delivering the goods.
Turnover by the Eagles. Turnover number 8. Actually, turnover number 12.
12, yeah, they're moving up there pretty quickly. But again, having a real problem handling the Gonzaga pressure on defense.
And Bolden now credited with 4 steals. He wanted the ball there. He gave it up, wanted it back. There's Harris with a double team. And a foul call. Harris spinning away there, got himself into some trouble. And the foul call as we look at Kirk Earlywine in his 3rd year. 27 and 46. This is a fiery guy and loves to coach. Got some good young players, but in this day and age, Greg, it seems like in big-time college basketball, you got to win right away. He's in the right direction now as Harris banks in the first free throw. Is there enough patience these days to allow Earlywine the time as we take a look at Ray Giacoletti, a former head coach at Eastern Washington? Is there enough time these days to allow a coach like Kirk Earlywine time to rebuild this program?
At a place like Eastern, where I think he should be allowed time, it seems like he should. 3rd year, he's getting players in there that he recruited. So I know the first year, he inherited a team. So now he's got the kids, like you said, that are coachable and want to play for him and his style of basketball. So I assume you get a couple more years to prove yourself.
Dunn now 2 of 4 from behind the arc. Goodson three ball, that's short. Ropp runs it down in the corner. Back to Goodson. New shot clock for Gonzaga. Bolden looking for his 9th point. That's long. Boy, both teams really hitting the boards hard. Gonzaga, though, doing a much better job. 12 rebounds to 6 or 7 now for Eastern Washington.
Well, a much bigger team Gonzaga is out there. So I tell you, Eastern has to do all the little things. Make sure you block out the shooter. Make sure you got those backside covered with 2 guys usually down there, and try to limit Gonzaga as few shots as you can at the basket, and especially if you can get a defensive rebound and then push it out and cause some pressure on Gonzaga to get back in transition defense, you might get yourself back in this game. But right now, 14 points down, they haven't been able to do that.
Glenn Dean into the corner. Back to Dean. 17 feet. No good. Gonzaga basketball. You know, it's obviously the students here at Gonzaga are on break. It's very, very quiet inside this arena. We're able to hear both coaches yelling at their teams, and we're able to understand what they're saying.
Barking out
I don't ever remember that.
No, yeah, the students usually cause a lot of noise in here, but you know, and Eastern and Gonzaga games have always been fiery.
Ropp. Boy, he doesn't get it off quickly, but he seems to shoot it well.
Really good mechanics. You know, that time he got a good look at the basket and squared his shoulders and was on balance, and those are all big things when you shoot the ball from beyond the arc.
Another deflection by Bolden, who went up high over Dean trying to save that ball. It'll be Eastern Washington basketball when we come back. 7:20 to play first half. Gonzaga in control, leading at 31-14. 297. That's 27297 or Arby's, or fill out an entry form at a participating Arby's restaurant today. I'm thinking Zags. I'm thinking Arby's. Another deflection by Matt Bolden. That's 5 or 6 this half.
He's had deflections. He's had steals. Yeah, I like the way he's playing tonight on defense. He's causing a lot of problems for the Eagles.
Glenn Dean working on Bull Kong. And Will Foster there popping out. Dean wide open and rattles in the 3-ball. Dean now is 7 for Eastern Washington.
That was good patience. He didn't rush himself. The defender went below the screen, and when the defender goes below the screen, try to stop in an open area behind him.
Great feed to Kong. Ropp again, corner 3-ball. Well, every time Eastern hits one, it appears that Gonzaga is ready to answer.
And again, they're getting that out of their offense, so the percentages go up when you execute well.
Foul called on Will Foster. And Big Will not enjoying that call. You know, at 7'4".
It's funny when you talk about a 7'4" guy. I mean, how impressive is that? Usually a 7'4" or 5 guy you want back in the paint to cause problems with shots and stuff. But his man came over to set a screen, and Gonzaga uses their big guy to hedge the guy coming off the screen. And Will did it very well that time. He just did not get over in front of Dean quick enough. But I was impressed. Will was way over here by us, almost to midcourt, hedging the point guard back towards midcourt.
Dean having a nice game thus far for Eastern Washington. Now with 9 points. He has scored almost half of the offense for Eastern Washington. And the foul called on Gibson.
Well, another way when you're down 2, Greg, is Eastern decides after the free throws they're going to run a little half-court press here, and almost works for him. Looked like Gibson got a clean. Matt took that ball behind his head, and when he did, Gibson reached in.